been issued for actor and singer Tyrese. A warrant has now been issued for actor and singer Tyrese Gibson in connection with the deadly animal attack in Buckhead. Fulton County Police say
dog attack.
His 4 Cane Corso dogs killed a neighbor's pet.
4 Cane. What is a celebrity doing with 4 dogs? A true nutter. This is not just for protection. And why would you need dogs for protection anyway?
And that Gibson ignored multiple warnings to kill the neighbor's pet, and that Gibson ignored multiple warnings to keep his dogs contained. Let's get out to 11 Alive's Ariana Manise following this story for us all morning, joining us from Fulton County Police Headquarters with some new information. Ariana, what are you hearing this morning?
Well, we got a statement from Tyrese Gibson's attorney as he is facing animal cruelty charges. Now, in that statement that we received within the last hour, it goes on to read that Gibson is extending his deepest condolences to the family who lost their beloved dog to this tragic incident that occurred while Mr. Gibson was away from his home. He goes on to say that upon learning of this unfortunate accident, Mr. Gibson immediately made the difficult decision to rehome his dogs to a safe and loving.
What? He wasn't even there? You wasn't even there and your dogs were out roaming? Y'all notice, whether it's a celebrity or a regular everyday person, all nutters do the same things. They all do the same. There's no such thing as a responsible dog owner. This man has the resources to purchase the best fence, the most securely built fence, and everything else. And look at what happened. His dogs, 4 Cane Corso, out what, roaming? This is ridiculous, man.
Environment. Now, this attack happened on September 18th in Buckhead, just off of Woodhaven Road, which is not too far from the governor's mansion. Police say Gibson's 4 Cane Corso's dog got loose, attacked and killed a neighbor's.
Got loose? Got loose? How? No, they don't want to get into that. Again, no such thing as a responsible dog owner. Whatever he used to secure these dogs failed. And anything that you use can fail. Whether it be a leash, whether it be a fence, whatever it is. So there's no such thing as a responsible dog owner.
5-year-old King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. Now, before that attack, police say that those same dogs was caught on camera roaming around the neighborhood and knocking and scratching at a neighbor's door.
Old man in the back. Old man in the back getting the peek in there. I see you, old timer. He still got time for a peek, right?
They say that those same dogs was caught on camera roaming around the neighborhood and not.
Can you imagine 4 Cane Corso roaming the neighborhood? That's what I'm saying. These people gotta go. You shouldn't be allowed to own these things. They're not pets. And you tell me once again, as always, and this happens every single time, all it takes is for these dogs to be loose, roaming. And they're guaranteed to launch attacks. That's the first thing they do. If they break free, jump over a fence, dig under a fence, whatever, first thing they do is look for something to attack. That's why I wish nothing but death to all dogs. I hope they catch something that kills all of them. And you dog lovers, you have no rebuttal. As extreme as that might sound, you know full well it makes logical sense for people to want all dogs dead. I want them all dead. I'm not telling random citizens to go out and unalive these things. I simply want them dead. I don't care how they die. I want them completely exterminated. Nothing that violent and bloodthirsty deserves to be on this earth.
Knocking and scratching at a neighbor's door, and that neighbor had to contact police in order to get escorted from her home because she was just too frightened to leave.
Are you kidding? So scared, she called the police to escort her outside of her home? What'd she say? Made contact what? Let me back this up.
Those same dogs was caught on camera roaming around the neighborhood and knocking and scratching at a neighbor's door, and that neighbor had to contact police in order to get escorted from her home.
Man, please. Please. My finger would have made contact with the trigger, and that bullet would have been escorted out of the chamber and into that raggedy mutt's mouth. All four of them. You gotta be kidding me.
Because she was just too frightened to leave. Now, Gibson shared this video of his dogs previously before this attack on social media. And officers say that after the attack, Gibson initially agreed to surrender his dogs, but later refused. Now, Fulton County Police Animal Control obtained a search warrant for his property and an arrest warrant for a misdemeanor animal cruelty charge. And officers say when they executed that search warrant, Gibson and his dogs were gone. Now, according to that statement that we received from his attorneys, it says in regard to that misdemeanor animal cruelty charge that Gibson is fully cooperating with authorities, and at this time he is asking for privacy and understanding as these charges are handled through the proper legal channels.
No, you don't get any understanding. No understanding for you or any other nutter. Your dogs were out roaming the neighborhood. What is there to understand? There's nothing to understand. Get out of here. Now brace yourselves, because this is kind of funny.
A deadly weekend for bear hunting dogs in northern Wisconsin. 6 killed and more injured in 2 separate wolf attacks. Tonight, the DNR is explaining what happened and what pet owners should know. Our reporter, Shauna Johnson, has more.
I spoke with Wisconsin DNR Assistant Wolf Specialist Danielle Deming, who said both investigations confirm wolves were responsible. These attacks highlight when and where hunters face the greatest risk. The Wisconsin DNR confirmed 2 wolf depredation incidents over the weekend, both involving bear hunting hounds.
On Friday, the morning of September 26, a large group of bear hunters released their bear hunting dogs to pursue 2 bears. The group of dogs separated and encountered a wolf pack while in pursuit of the bears.
The dog owners had noticed their dogs' GPS collars had stopped moving on their receiver, so they followed the dog trails into the woods, only to discover 3 of the dogs had been killed and 2 were injured at one.
So he released these dogs and he was tracking them on his GPS. And then he noticed that they stopped moving. That's what they get. Got exactly what they deserve. You released those dogs to go in there and unalive a bear. You was giving those dogs permission to unalive real animals, and it backfired. Worthless mutts got unalived by real animals. Hallelujah. Okay? Nobody's gonna sit here and feel sorry for you. Your goal was death. You wanted the bear to die, and it backfired.
Site. At a nearby site about 900 yards away, they discovered 2 more hunting dogs had been killed.
And so likely these events.
I mean, at the exact same time where the dogs stopped moving and he saw that they stopped moving on his GPS, I wonder if he heard the sounds of the dogs whimpering and howling, making that obnoxious noise that they always make. Worthless mutts. Nobody cares. Get out of here. What do y'all expect? Sympathy?
Happened simultaneously. And it was,
What?
and so likely these events happened simultaneously. And it was all on county forests near Ackley Wildlife Area.
Had been killed and 2 were injured at one site. At a nearby site about 900 yards away, they discovered 2 more hunting dogs had been killed.
And so likely these events happened simultaneously.
So this was easy work for these wolves. Neutralize all of these mutts at the same time, despite the fact that they separated into different groups. Check that out, which proves dogs are worthless in the wild. Worthless. Stupid mutts probably made their presence known by being loud and retarded. That's why I say you have to exterminate them. See, dog lovers, they think I'm just being crazy when I say that they should be exterminated. Exterminate them because we can't release them out into the wild. They can't survive in the wild. And on top of that, they'll leave the wild anyways and make their way right back to our communities. No.
And it was all on county forests near Ackley Wildlife Area. So it's kind of a typical bear hunting area.
Wildlife Services, external partners.
Yeah. Y'all have made the unaliving of natural animals into a sport. That's why I don't respect dogs or dog lovers. And that's why I don't hear none of y'all's criticism. Goes in one ear, out the other. Expecting me to be sympathetic when y'all have made a sport out of unaliving natural animals, but you want us to care about dogs. I've seen y'all stupid comments. How could you want dogs to be exterminated? Shut up. You hypocrites.
Of the DNR went to investigate these incidents and
I'm not saying that dogs should be unalived for sport. See, that's the difference.
based on canine spacing of the puncture wounds, wolf tracks, and hair at the site, confirmed it was wolf attacks on the dogs. The following day, about 15 miles north of Elko, another attack took place.
Different group of bear hunters who let out one bear hunting dog to pursue a bear. After seeing the dog GPS collar had stopped moving as well.
Stupid GPS collars just steadily stop moving. Worthless, stupid mutts getting dealt with. You're releasing these mutts into the wild and they getting handled. Easy work. Good.
Well, the hunter was able to respond actually within about 5 minutes because it was near the road. And discover that the one hunting dog who was released was deceased.
Upon investigation, findings confirmed that this incident was also a wolf attack. Deming says the Friday attacks...
Yeah, the wolves are not having it. Wolves are not having it. You see? Y'all constantly want to accuse me of somehow being immoral or whatever. But you've never heard me advocate for the extermination of wolves because they don't bother us. Do your research. They prefer not to be around us. They have the same behavior as other natural animals. They see a human, they run away. And they live off to themselves. So I don't want to hear no lecture. Save your little moral lectures.
likely came from different members of the same pack, while Saturday's was in a different territory and likely by a completely different pack of wolves.
Exactly. See? No, so multiple packs of wolves are taking out these worthless mutts. Dogs, they're not even making it to the bears. The wolves are at the front line, right? Like the shooters, and taking them out, just picking them off like snipers. Good. Stupid mutts.
While incidents are alarming, Deming stresses they involve bear hunting hounds, not pets.
It's really important to distinguish that these incidents happen with hunting dogs during a bear hunt, not pet dogs near residents. So in trailing hound situations, attacks generally occur when the pack is defending pups at a rendezvous site.
A rendezvous site is an area where, when pups are too big for their dens, mother wolves hide their pups while they're out on a hunt. These sites are usually somewhere deep in the woods, but easy for hunting dogs to stumble upon. Deming said pet owners should simply stay aware and keep dogs close.
We've never had a wolf attack on a person in the state of Wisconsin.
Boom. Say it again. Say it again. This is why I say dogs should be exterminated. Didn't I just say, for the most part, wolves leave us alone? Say it again.
Dogs close.
We've never had a wolf attack on a person in the state of Wisconsin. However, wolves can see dogs as a threat.
Having things such as...
See that? Every natural animal, when they see dogs, they know that dogs are unnatural. No matter if it be natural animals or even insects. We've heard stories of insects trying to exterminate dogs. Yeah. Save your lectures. You've never heard me advocate for the extermination of foxes, wolves, natural wild dogs like what you see in Africa. Do your research. They prefer to leave us alone. Every now and then you might see one wander, just like you might see a deer or whatever. For the most part, they stay in their part of the world and leave us alone. Dogs don't behave like that. That's why there's no other option. Just get rid of them.
Motion lights on your property, keeping your dogs close or on a leash, and good recall are key to ensuring safety if you do live in a heavily wooded area.
And if you do suspect any sort of potential conflict, you should immediately call U.S.
The only conflict is coming from the dog. Yeah, get out of here. These things just terrorizing the whole country. Now, what is this? A dog is dead after police. Okay, let's listen. Another dog is dead.
Of leashing your dog while they're out. Department in the city of Lamar is reminding everybody about the importance of leashing your dog while they're outside. This comes after multiple people were reportedly injured in a dog attack in Lamar. Police say they were called to an area along Sharon Drive near the Walmart store. There, police say they found multiple people had been injured in an attack by what they believed to be a dog that was a pit bull mix. They say the dog left its home and tried to attack another dog that was leashed on its own property. Police say the owner of the leashed dog was attacked by the pit bull. They say 2 people in that area went to help. One of them ended up killing the dog that was considered the aggressor.
Good. Hallelujah. So, once again, the dog got loose. First thing it wanted to do is look for something to attack. Anything that violent, that bloodthirsty, doesn't deserve to live on this earth, and especially not in human territory. It is insane to have these things in our communities. Absolutely insane. Now, all of these are recent stories. This took place in Alabama, or is actually taking place. New Arizona law targets dog owners who run after attacks. Good. Good. Again, why wasn't laws like this already on the book is my question. These lackluster dog laws. And a lot more than this should be done, truth be told.
Friday night at
really deep is there's one in there.
February 2023, the Friday night at Crossroads Dog Park in Gilbert.
He jumped on me and I was trying to push him away, but he kept hanging on to me.
Then 9-year-old Matthew Richardson was rushed to the hospital with cuts and puncture wounds from a dog attack at the park. For the Richardsons, One of the most painful parts was that the owner ran and never came back.
My personal opinion is there's good people and there's bad people, and this man's a coward. He ran away.
And so we're actually getting underreported dog bites.
Stories like Matthew's are why Kim Powell with MCACC says Arizona lawmakers passed Senate Bill 1241, the bite and run law.
A lot of the times we hear about dog bites through the victim, but we don't have any information about the dog owner.
Previously, Arizona law only required dog owners to report bites to Animal Care and Control. And if the owner couldn't prove registration and a rabies shot, the dog would be quarantined.
There's so many questions when you get bit by a dog, you know, and your doctor may have questions, your family might have questions, your neighbors, etc. So this is just something to close the gap and make sure everyone is communicating and just has proper information.
Powell believes this new law could keep others from going through the same thing the Richardsons went through.
If the owner of a dog that bites someone does not exchange their contact information and stays on the scene, that is now a Class 2 misdemeanor.
Class 2 misdemeanor? Slap yourselves. Slap yourselves. How worthless. Every single so-called new law, if it has to do with dogs, it will be worthless. I almost thought this was noteworthy. It is not. Misdemeanor? And you use the attack. You use the attack of a child as an example? Whoop-de-doo. Class 2 missed. Get out of here, man. Roast them. Euthanize them. Preemptively. Stop sitting around waiting for the next attack like this to happen, because you know it's only a matter of time. Why won't this country protect their youth? That's what it boils down to. You all have endangered everybody in society, primarily your youth, and you refuse to do anything about it. Lord, we need help. Shout out to all of you able to join me for this brief live stream. Happy Hump Day. And I hope you can join me on the next as we continue with this crusade.